Namaste students, welcome to our social class. We have completed block 14. Today we'll be starting block 15 of social science. So block 15 is all about local self bodies, local governing bodies. In today's class we'll be learning about the topic solving problems. So first of all, before we begin our class, I have a question for you. Tell me students, if when you are hungry, when you are very hungry, whom do you go to? Who can solve this problem? Do you go to your neighbors? Do you go to your neighbors and ask, Auntie, I'm hungry. Did you cook anything in your house? Give me a little food. Do you ask that? Or do you go to your mother asking her, Mommy, fast, serve me food or whatever you made? Or do you ask your mother or any family member? We ask our mother, right? We ask our mother to serve us food when we are hungry, When there is a need, when we want anything, we know whom to go to, right? Today we'll discuss some problems and we'll think about whom we can approach, whom should we go to get the problem solved or problem or need. Here on the board we have some problems and needs at home. When we are at home, when we fall sick, whom do we go to? We go to our parents, right? We don't go to our friends or family friends. First we'll go and inform our parents. I have fever or my stomach is aching. We either tell to our father or mother or family members. Then the second problem is when we want a new toy. This is a need. You want something. Then whom will you ask? If you want a new toy, do you ask your parents or do you ask your school principal, sir? We ask our parents. Mostly our father will be asking, Daddy, I want a new toy, this remote control car or something. So we know who will solve that problem or who will solve that need. When we are hungry, we go to our mother, right? And here we have some problems or needs that we have in the school. When we cannot see the blackboard, you are in the class, you are copying the notes. Sometimes you can't see the board. Whom will you ask? Either you will ask the class teacher, right? You will ask the subject teacher, whoever is there, Madam, I am unable to see the board or something. Then teacher will solve your problem. She will ask you, come and sit here in the second bench or third bench, or you move to the student who is taller in front of you, you go back, or some kind of arrangement the teacher will make and solve the problem. So these are some problems that we face in our school. When we need more chairs in the classroom, if suppose your class teacher needs more chairs in the classroom, whom will she ask? Whom will she ask? We'll ask the IMS first. We'll ask the aunties first. First of all, is there any extra chair in the next class, or we want so many chairs? We'll ask. Or if we want more, then we'll go to the principal sir and ask him, because he can solve all the problems in our school, right? And he is the person who sees that all the problems are solved and the school runs very smoothly, right? So the next problem is when we have fight with the classmate. Oh, full fight. You took my book, he is not showing, he said this to me, he said a bad word to me or something. I helped him but he is not helping me, or he was troubling me in the playground. We have many reasons to fight in the school, right? And the next day itself you become friends. But when you fight, who can solve the problem? Well, first, whenever there is a fight in the classroom, the class leader will take the two students who fought and he'll go around looking for the class teacher. Madam, this both students fought and this is the thing what happened. Then teacher will ask, why did you do, and what if. From the two students she'll take the report, and she'll take the third report also from the class students, what actually happened. She'll send the students out and she'll try to solve the problem. If it is not solved here at class teacher level, then teacher will take the students to the principal, sir. Sir, so and so thing happened between these two students. What can we do about this? Or like such kind of things. Or sometimes we even call the parents and we'll try to talk what is the problem with the student. If very troublesome, very rare cases. So these are some problems that we have discussed, or some needs that we have at home or in the school, and who solves the problem we discussed and we know. Why only certain people can only solve certain problems? If we are hungry, if we are very hungry at home, we want breakfast or lunch, do we run to the school and ask principal, sir, I'm at home, I'm feeling hungry, can you give me anything? No. We know that who is the right person. Okay, mother can take responsibility, she can solve the problem. Okay, if something happened in the school, whom will you meet? You'll go and meet the class teacher. You won't just come running, oh, open the gates, I'm running away to my home, I'll go and meet my mother or father and tell my father. It's not like that. Okay, we'll go to our subject teachers, class teachers. If it is not solved there, we'll go to principals. Or if we need anything in the school, something happened, okay, you fell down or you had some small cut or some bruise on your knee, we go to that auntie or the medical room will go to, they'll do the first step. So there are certain people who can solve certain problems. So one person can't solve all the problems. Okay, all the problems cannot be solved by one person. So there are some particular people who can solve a problem, right? Every different problem will be solved by a different person. So in today's class we'll learn further, move forward and learn more about solving problems, right? Good. Tell me students, do we always need someone's help to solve some things or to solve our needs? Do we always want someone's help? Hey, come and do this, come and do that for me. What's your answer? No. There are certain things that we can do on ourselves. We can do it ourselves. We need not call mummy, come and do this, or Anna, come and do this, Bhaiya, come and do this. We need not ask. There are certain things that you can do on your own. For example, if your study table is there, if it is untidy, will you call the servant, mother or brother, or whom will you call? You can do it yourself. Okay. You should feel that this is very easy. I'll set the books aside, I'll put the pens and stationery aside, I'll clean it with a cloth. That's all. There are many things that you can solve by yourself. For example, if you are thirsty, you can go to kitchen and get a glass of water. Right? There are many things that you can do on yourself. So we need not always depend on others. Right, students? Now let's go for our homework. Today's homework is finish S1 in workbook. Okay, block 15. Open your workbook to block 15. Open to S1 page and finish it off. Read the questions well and answer. In your notebook, in your social classwork, answer practice question number 4. At the back of the lesson block 15, look for 4th question, practice question. Copy the question. Think about the answer. Read the question well and answer the question in points. That's all for today, students. Have a nice day.
Daniel was a nervous boy. He was scared of problematic situations. However, life is full of them. Whenever a problem arose in Daniel's life, he would simply start crying. Seeing him in tears, his mother would help him out. However, this made him more dependent and less courageous. His father didn't like this at all. But there was hardly anything he could do. One day, he saw Daniel crying. He went to him and asked the matter. Daniel told him that he had borrowed his friend James' bicycle, but someone stole it while he was in the park. only Mom can help me out of this," said Daniel with tears in his eyes. "I'm sure she can," comforted his father. "But you can also solve the problem on your own." "How?" asked Daniel. "Okay," said father. "Now stop crying and listen to me carefully. To solve any problem, first identify it and list the options for fixing it. You lost your friend's bike. What do you think you can do to fix it?" Daniel thought for a while and then laid down his options. "I can stay away from my friend, or I can lie to him that one of my friends lost it, or I can give him my remote controlled plane. He really likes it." "Okay," said father. "It is good you have some options to fix the problem. Now, you need to rate the options. Write all your options on paper and rate them according to their being ethical, rightful, and honest." Daniel did as his father told him. He rated the 3 options he had and was left with just the last option. Avoiding his friend or lying to him would be disastrous and would hurt his feelings a lot. So, the only option that was left with him was to offer his friend the remote controlled plane that he liked a lot. Daniel told the option he picked to his father. It was the hardest one, but was the only suitable option that seemed fit. Seeing this, father comforted him. "Son, it is always hard to do the right thing, but in the end, it pays." The next day, Daniel went to his friend and told him all about the bike. He apologized to him and offered him his remote control plane instead of the bike. However, his friend was stubborn. He wanted his bike back, no matter what. This meant there was a bigger problem for Daniel. He went to his father and the two started thinking again. This time, Daniel came up with a unique solution. He offered to buy his friend the same kind of bike. The only thing he asked from him for was time. He promised to buy him the bike after saving his pocket money. His friend agreed to the solution. Encouraged by this, Daniel started saving money. He even did small jobs for his neighbors, like walking the dog every morning, fetching milk from the market daily, etc., to earn money in a short period of time. Soon, he had enough money. Daniel bought the bike and thanked his father for helping him solve the problem on his own. His father smiled and said, "The lesson is not over, son. After fixing the problem, you need to analyze what led to the problem in the first place." "My forgetfulness," replied Daniel shyly. "It's good that you know it. So, from now on, I am sure You will take corrective steps to ensure that you won't repeat the mistake again. Sure, Dad, said Daniel. You have taught me the lesson of a lifetime. From then on, whenever Daniel faced any problem, he followed the I or pi rule. First, he identified the problem. Next, he listed the options to fix it. Then, he rated the options. Next, he picked the most suitable option. Then, he implemented the solution. And finally, he evaluated the whole situation to avoid the problem from cropping again.